Hello everyone, my name is Sachin and in today's video we'll try to explore some capabilities of Microsoft Test Manager and the TFS Team Foundation Server. Today we'll try to connect to the Team Foundation Server from Visual Studio IDE. We did this in the previous video, try to do it anyway. We'll try to check what the web access is when it comes to the TFS project, what and all it offers. We'll try to modify, change some items in the work item template. In our previous video we used Scrum process template. There are different work items within that. I will see if we can change those and where the changes are reflected. We'll try to create the PBI, we'll try to create test suite, and we'll try to create test cases. We'll try to attach the test cases to test suite. Some of these things will be done from the web access and rest will be done from MTM. We will try to execute the test cases, the sample test cases, and we'll try to see what we do if any of the test cases steps fail to produce the expected result. We'll try to see if we come up or we face anything beyond this. We'll try to cover that too in the current video. So let's begin. Let me open the Visual Studio. We'll use Team Connect to Team Foundation Server to connect to TFS, or we can do it from the Team Explorer here. Connect to Team Foundation Server. We are using the Windows authentication, which is why this Connect to Team Foundation Server dialog is not asking us any username or password to enter to. So let us select the My Team Projects collection and the respective team project. In our previous video we tried to see how we can configure Team Foundation Server 2012, how to create collections, how to create team projects, and how we can check in any code, source code, web application into the team project. Whether there is a web application associated with the team project or not, we will still be able to create PBI, create the requirements in terms of PBI, create test cases and execute the test cases. At this point of time, what we are trying to do is completely a QA perspective. The earlier what we created in earlier video, we tried to create MVC application, MVC4 application, which was from a development perspective. So let's select a new team project and connect. Now in the left pane we see my work, pending changes, work items, and build web access setting. Let's try to check what this work item is. Here we see new work item and we can add a product backlog item. This is the interface provided from within the Visual Studio IDE to create a PBI. PBI is nothing but the requirement. Also we have a few iterations here under the releases. So in typical Scrum template we have team project where we will have multiple projects checking in, and we will have a separate cycle of development. Each sprint will take certain number of PBIs. They will try to code, test, deploy the changes so that testers can test it, and once all the sprints within the release are completed, we'll go to the next release. If any PBI, any requirement for the current sprint is not completed, it may go to the it may be carried over to the second next sprint, or it can go to the backlog, the product backlog. There is another option to create a product backlog item, and that is through the web access. Since this web access cannot recognize my window credentials, I have to enter those. And it will take me to the current team project. This is a web portal of the TFS. In case if you don't have Visual Studio IDE available, we can use the web interface, web access for the same. If I click on the product backlog item plus to add, it will give me a similar interface to create it. So this gives me a web access to create PBIs. Now if you see the iteration here is release 1, release 2, release 3 and release 4, and there are few sprints added here. I want to remove those sprints. I have say 3 sprints in my current release 1, and I want 2 sprints in next each of these releases, release 2 and release 3, and I want to delete release 4. I don't need release 4, I have only release 3. Let's see how we can do that. I will say cancel. We'll go back to the Visual Studio IDE. Let's click on team. Let's search for team project settings. We have source control, work item areas, work item iterations. Let's click on work item iteration. So here we have the areas. We can define multiple areas, and we have our sprints and releases. We can set the dates for each of the releases. Let's remove sprint 6. So my first sprint has say first release has say 4 sprints, and I want to add 2 sprints each for release 2 and release 3. I want to delete release 4, and I want to add child here. We'll try to see if we can add sprint 5. Yes, we can totally do that. add another child as sprint 6. See, the problem is the sprint numbers are dependent on the releases. It can be the total sprint 6, 5 and 6, or it can be sprint 1 of release 2. We can choose to do that. So let us change it to 1 and let us change it to 2. When I double click on it, it opens the interface. So new child as sprint 1 and add another child as sprint 2. So it gives me my team project has multiple releases, and release 1 has 4 sprint, release 2 has 2, and release 3 as well has 2 sprints. So let's refresh this and let's go back to our Visual Studio ID. Let's check whether we have been able to save. It still shows me sprint 6, sprint 4, etc. Let's close this. Let's go to team projects, iterations. Here it is set. So let me refresh. This team explorer. Let's try now. Yes, after refresh I'm able to see 4 sprints, 2 sprints and 2 sprints for release 1, 2 and 3 respectively. Let's create a sample PBI for say release 1. Let's assign it to me. Since I have not registered any other users here, I can only see my name. Will not enter any fake efforts or business value or business priority. We will try to save those PBs. Let's add total 5 PBIs. Let us see if all those PBIs are created or not. In Team Explorer, we will go to work item, or we can directly create a new query. Let's go to work item, click on new query. We'll say team project equal to project, current project, item type equal to product backlog item. This third argument is not required. We have our 5 PBIs added and assigned. We can assign later, and this will be reflected as and when we create an update. So we do have few PBIs. We can create one test case, sample one, As of now we have not added any test case to any PBI, and we'll also try to keep it at release level. We are creating this video just for exploring different features provided by TFS. In real time you will create test cases and PBIs more seriously and providing all the relevant details while creating the PBI. Now if I open any test case, I see different tabs. This is where we will try to couple either coded UI scripts, or we'll try to create a generic project and add it here. But before that we'll have to add the steps, and that can be done by a test manager. So for now we have created few PBIs as well as few test cases. We need Microsoft Test Manager for creating and steps for those test cases. Let's try to open one test case and click on edit with Microsoft Test Manager. So this has directly opened this test case. This is the title of the test case, and this is the actual name of the test case. Let us see what is the other way to open the Microsoft Test Manager. You will find Microsoft Test Manager in the start menu under Visual Studio 2012, Microsoft Visual Studio 2012 menu item. This is where it will ask you to add the Team Foundation server. If you enter your URL, this will navigate to the TFS installed on this machine. These are the two collections we have created in our previous videos, and this is the team project where we are working currently. We have added 6 PBIs and approximately 4 test cases. We'll try to create test steps and test suite. Now when I'm trying to connect here, it says the testing center says there is no test suite created. Now test suite is a logical entity where we link and group the test cases. Let's create one test plan. For current project and current sprint, click on add. This has created a test plan for current sprint. To select plan, here we have to create test suits. We have to add requirements to the suit. Now requirements are nothing but PBIs. They can even be your bugs. For now we'll select 2 PBIs for this current requirement. Click on add requirements to plan button. You can see these 2 PBIs are added for suit 1. Let's create another suit. We can drag and drop suits. Let's add a few requirements. If I go to test suit 1 and click on add requirements, if I try to select, if I click try to run, it will show me all the default PBIs. So we have test suite 1, test suite 2. Now this doesn't have any test case, so let's say add. The work item type is test case category. Let's execute. We have TC1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add these 2 for the current PBI, and these 2 for the rest of the PBI 2. Now for these 3, if we have those 4 test cases to cover this all 5 PBIs, that might also be possible. So let's say TC1 covers PBI 3 plus PBI 1, portion of PBI 1. So PBI 4, say TC2 covers PBI 4, and TC3 and 4 covers PBI 5. I can even create a new test case from within here, MTM. Let's open the test case. We'll try to explore actions and results and overall steps in a different video where we'll try to explore test case creation, plan section in more detail. We'll try to copy these steps. I'm going to paste it for most of those test cases. Let's explore whatever we have here. So we have here TC1 is related to PBI 1 and PBI 3. Let's select this step and click on insert shared steps. Now we don't have any shared steps created, so we will not find anything. But if I want to, create this as a shared step, I can simply right click here and say create shared steps. This is sample shared steps. Now if you notice, the expected result and actual result has gone. Let's paste whatever we have copied. Section 1 and 1. Let's save this. Go to TC2, paste, save. We'll try to insert the shared steps. Save. Double click. Paste. Save and close. So we have steps now for almost everything. For all of those test cases. So we have created test suite and test suite 2 from new menu. Let's explore what is this query based suite. Let's create query based suite. We'll say new query based suite 1. Let us see how many we have here. And let's try to see if it is assigned to administrator. Try to run. There is no test case which is assigned to any user called as administrator. Let us save this by clicking on create test suite. So we have test suite 2 and query based test suite. Let's go back to Visual Studio and try to add one of those test case to administrator. Now I'm going to change this assignment to administrator. Save. And let's see what happens here. Now this is not refreshed. So let's go back here, come back, edit query, run. We have one test case. Let's save the query. Let us say this test case is available. For this query based test suite, let us try to see if we can have any requirement associated with this. So let us add one PBI, PBI number 5 to administrator. Save this, go back to MTM, try to see if anything is associated with administrator. Click save query. Okay, so currently we cannot save this. Okay, so that was our query based suite. In our next session we'll try to see, we have connected to TFS, this is done, web access almost done, this we have not tried yet. We have created PBI to suit test cases, done. We have not yet executed the test cases, but this will involve a later more details. So let us try to tailor the work item template and execute the bugs in a later video. We also try to explore the query based test suite in more detail. So that was what we have done so far for Microsoft Test Manager. Thank you for joining the video. Have a nice day.